Hey, Tziporah here from the Soulful Relating Institute.com, and today I want to dive into a topic around desire and attraction. And this topic was inspired by a recent question that came in, stating that I am in a very happy, connected, loving relationship with my partner, and I'm finding myself still attracted to other people. What can I do about it? So first I want to start by saying that there's not necessarily a black or white, it's not necessarily a black or white topic, it's a complicated topic. And depending on your relationship configuration, dynamics, what's going on in your own emotional and psychological body, is the answer might be different. However, today I want to offer you a really basic steps to starting to dive into desire and attraction. So the first piece is I want to start with self-compassion, because when I hear a question like that, often what I do personally is I sit back and I ask myself, who made up the rule that attraction is bad or having attraction is wrong? And I'm sure many of us will have many answers to that inquiry, from society to the relationship dynamics of our upbringing to religion. There's so many different maybe structures in place that supported our own belief systems and probably supported ideas that weren't necessarily serving the humanity or the highest form of our expression. And so having desire or feeling desire and attraction, isn't it a natural part of our human existence? Every day, we have this experience of desire and attraction to something, to some experience, to other people. Maybe that is the food we eat, to the books we read, to the adventures we take ourselves on, to the places we want to travel to. Desire is a driving force. It inspires often our creativity. And often within what we have desire for or attraction to, if here we're talking about attraction to another human being, however, I'm just going to use the term attraction, is often it is what is within that experience that attraction offers us is what we are seeking. It's what feels really good to us. And so often having this attraction or desire of wanting something or projecting it towards something else is that experience or person triggers something inside of us that feels good. It may trigger greater passion. It may trigger curiosity and adventure, stimulation, maybe a stronger sense of arousal, potentially more creative. It might stimulate our creative thought processes. So just that understanding of what the attraction is offering us or our object of our desire, we already begin to know that it's not necessarily the object of our desire that we want, but it's what's within that object, what it triggers inside of us. I want to reframe that. So, but the other piece often that happens is that, it's factual that each person, whether that be friend, a loved one, a colleague, a lover, our partner, each person stimulates something different inside of us. And what I mean by that is each person inspires a different part of us to be expressed. And I can imagine, because I have felt it, is that when we're with that particular person or people and that part of us gets inspired, oh my God, that feels good. And so again, often what we're looking for in that attraction, if we would turn it around to an empowered idea or experience, is we really want to experience that part of us more. So we really are more, what's happened is we're attracted to that part in us that that other person inspires to come out. And so all of this conversation is doing is if we can unpack attraction and desire and really just start to understand it, versus what typically happens is, we're living with veils of past pain, of shame, that's stating that these attractions are wrong. So we're covered in these judgments. And within that, then we start to suppress and create constriction in our body and in our experience. And that also means suppressing part of our personality, which makes us feel like we're living in a cage, which within a relationship dynamic, that will also create constriction and disconnection within that relationship bond and that connection. So I'm sharing that because by diving into the self-inquiry and unpacking these ideas, is just the conversation alone starts to create greater freedom or feelings of freedom inside of us. Because now we can even create different situations that we are more expressed in those parts of ourselves, that we do feel more stimulated and alive in our life, and we can share that with our partner. Now, I also want to state that I'm going about this because the question that came in was from a monogamous, agreed structured relationship. In this day and age, I work with many couples and people who are actually in more of an alternative relationship style, whether that be ethical non-monogamy, polyamory, open relating, swinging. But I also want to state that those styles of relationships are consensual. And there are certain set agreements in place within those configurations as well. So within the dynamic of a monogamous structured relationship, starting with self-compassion, going into self-inquiry and starting to unpack what the attraction or desire actually stimulates in you. And the final piece is how to communicate this and make it part of your bond with your partner. And asking yourself, how would the communication of this actually empower and increase the connection? So fuel my relationship with my beloved. And so asking yourself and coming up with, what's within those inquiries, and then taking the steps of having a conversation. I would always start that conversation with affirmation. And what that means is affirming the relationship, affirming the love for your partner, affirming the connection and the joy that you have sharing things with your beloved partner, and asking them if they want to have this conversation. Never assume because you're in a relationship with someone that they actually are ready or want to have this conversation. Give them the space to have a choice to say yes or no. Not all conversations will empower a relationship in a particular moment. So after having that conversation, asking permission, really understanding how this is going to connect your relationship even deeper, offering words of affirmation to your partner, And I would even offer it up as a fun game and talk about what attracts each of you to other people. Like, what do you find attractive in other people? So start it as a game can make it create a lot more ease and connection versus going straight into like, oh, I was attracted to this person and I thought they were super hot and this is why. But maybe starting to understand what you find attractive in other people. I've worked with people who, it's fun for them to be out for dinner, and one of them might find someone in the restaurant attractive and they start a conversation about it. And it triggers curiosity and they start to want to understand the other person, and it's fun for them. So, that third piece is affirmation, communication, and finding a fun way to dive into it. And my suggestion is starting with tell me something about what you find attractive in people and have it be a conscious communication and enjoy it. And my last invitation is see it as an experience to start to know your partner and start to know yourself at a deeper level, and be prepared that those veils of past pain, those old emotional stories, most likely are going to come up to the surface. My belief that it's not about getting rid of jealousy, it's not about getting rid of that envy, if that's your experience, but it's about starting to understand them and understanding the stories beneath them, so we can start to reframe our relationship stories and patterns and habits and create more dynamic connection within our chosen relationship configurations. So thanks for joining me here today to talk about desires and attraction. I look forward to learning what it was like for you to apply these, because now it's your turn. So taking these steps, applying them to your relationship dynamic, or maybe you already do this in your relationship dynamic, and I would love to hear about your shared experiences around how you talk about attractions to other people. What's your process when you find yourself attracted to someone else within your relationship dynamic? For more information about my courses and up-and-coming events, please come by my website at soulfulrelatinginstitute.com. Thank you so much, and enjoy this amazing day. Namaste.